Gentlemen, I want you to think about something for a moment. Have you ever noticed how certain men past 60, men with ordinary jobs, silver hair, maybe a belly they're not proud of, still somehow have women gravitating toward them, lighting up in their presence, hanging on every word? Meanwhile, other men who seem to have everything going for them walk through life feeling completely overlooked. Most guys convince themselves that attracting women requires a fat bank account, a chiseled jawline, or the energy of someone half their age. But that's not even close to the truth. There's something infinitely more magnetic than any of that, something already inside you that's been sitting dormant. And here's the part that'll surprise you. It only takes 12 minutes a day to switch it on. By the time this video ends, you'll understand the exact daily ritual that makes women pursue you, instead of you chasing them. But before I get into it, do me a small favor. Hit that like button right now and drop a comment telling me where you're tuning in from. I genuinely love seeing men from every corner of the globe lifting each other up in this community. And make sure you subscribe and tap the bell so these weekly videos always find their way to you. Now let me expose the biggest lie you've been fed. Society tells you that once you cross 60, you're done. Women only want younger men. Pack it up. Unless you're driving a luxury car and flashing a platinum card, forget about it. That's complete nonsense. I've personally coached men in their 70s who have sharp, beautiful, accomplished women in their 40s and 50s actively chasing them, not the other way around. The entire dating industry thrives on this lie because fear sells products. Designer suits, hair restoration procedures, anti-aging serums, all designed to convince you that your only hope is turning back the clock. But real attraction has nothing to do with looking 35 again. Women aren't hungry for youth. They're hungry for something much deeper than that. I'm Dr. Amanda Brooks, a specialist in men's health and peak performance. For over 12 years, I've worked with thousands of men across the globe, guiding them back to their vitality, their self-assurance, and yes, their irresistible pull with women. And I'll tell you something I know to be absolutely true. Attraction at this stage of life isn't a biological game. It's a psychological one. While most men over 50 are exhausting themselves trying to compete with younger guys on their turf, the men who actually win are playing a completely different sport. They're not pretending to be 3 decades younger. They're leaning into the one quality that no younger man on earth can imitate. So let me break this down into the 5 critical mistakes most men over 60 are making, and the single shift that changes everything overnight. Mistake number 1. Chasing approval instead of resting in self-contentment. Most men operate with this unconscious belief. If she finds me attractive, then I'll finally feel worthy. That's completely upside down. Women detect desperation the way animals sense a storm, instinctively and instantly. On a biological level, neediness triggers a warning signal in her brain that says, "This man isn't someone I can rely on." Emotionally, it feels like a burden. She doesn't want to be responsible for making you feel like you're enough. And in practice, it shows up as nervousness, talking too much, over-explaining yourself, or laughing too hard at your own jokes. All of it pushes her further away. Mistake number 2, fighting on the wrong battlefield. You will never outdo a 35-year-old at being 35. That's his arena, and he wins by default. But here's what he cannot touch: your depth, your groundedness, the weight of everything you've lived through and survived. On a biological level, your calm steadiness actually regulates her nervous system. It physically soothes her. Emotionally, it wraps her in a blanket of safety, something most younger men simply cannot provide because they haven't earned it yet. And practically, it means she puts her phone down when you speak. She leans toward you instead of away. She's actually present with you. Mistake number 3, assuming women prefer youth over maturity. Here's what's actually happening out there. Women at every age are overwhelmed by immature men. Boys in grown men's bodies who can't hold a conversation, can't handle conflict, can't show up consistently. They're not searching for another boy. They're desperate for a real man. Biologically, maturity signals dependability and long-term safety. Emotionally, it whispers to her, "This man won't disappear when things get hard." And in real life, it means she's warmer, more open, more tender, and more genuinely respectful when she's around you. Mistake number 4, putting on a performance instead of simply being present. You don't have to entertain her every second. You don't need to be the funniest person at the table or prove yourself through impressive stories from your past. The instant you stop performing and settle into just being yourself, without needing anything in return, something shifts. You become impossible to ignore. Biologically, your relaxed state lowers her stress hormones. Emotionally, it communicates something powerful. This man is complete on his own. He doesn't need me to fill a void. And practically, every conversation becomes easier, lighter, more natural. The pressure evaporates for both of you. Mistake number 5, underestimating the force of outcome independence. This right here is the weapon nobody talks about. Outcome independence means you walk into every interaction wanting absolutely nothing from her. You're at peace whether she's interested or not. And that paradox, genuinely needing nothing, makes you almost impossibly attractive. Think about it from her perspective. Every man she's encountered wanted something: attention, validation, physical intimacy, reassurance. But then you appear, completely settled within yourself, unbothered by whether she stays or walks away. That's a man she's never met before, and she can't stop thinking about him. So how do you actually cultivate this? I call it the magnetic stillness protocol, a simple 12-minute daily practice that rewires your mind to radiate outcome independence from the inside out. Step 1, 3 minutes of deep contentment. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and mentally rehearse the feeling of being profoundly satisfied with your life exactly as it stands right now. No woman needed to complete the picture. No relationship required to make you whole. Just you, full, grounded, and at peace with who you are. Step 2, 4 minutes of relaxed visualization. Picture yourself sitting across from an attractive, engaging woman. But here's the key: you have zero agenda. You're not angling for her number. You're not hoping she'll be impressed. You're simply present, enjoying the conversation, letting it flow wherever it goes without grasping for any outcome. Step 3, 5 minutes of self-worth anchoring. Walk through your life's victories, large and small, the career you built, the storms you weathered, the people you loved and supported, the lessons that shaped you into who you are today. Let yourself feel genuine pride, not to perform for anyone, but to truly own the richness of your journey. Commit to this every single day, and something remarkable begins to unfold. You'll catch women glancing your way more often. Their body language will soften around you. They'll lean in closer when you speak. Their laughter will linger longer. They'll invent reasons to keep the conversation going. One of my patients, Gerald, 67 years old from Philadelphia, decided to try this at his local bookstore. Instead of approaching the woman browsing the shelf beside him, he simply settled into his own world, flipping through pages, enjoying the quiet, radiating calm. Within 8 minutes, she turned and asked what he was reading. That conversation turned into coffee. That coffee turned into dinner. They've been inseparable for over a year and a half now. That's the force of quiet, unshakable confidence. It doesn't chase, it draws. Listen to me. You don't need to overhaul your wardrobe, chase wealth, or pretend you're somebody you're not. The thing women are most starved for, you already possess it. Decades of lived experience, hard-won self-awareness, and the rare ability to stand calm in the middle of chaos. Your age was never your weakness. It was always your greatest advantage. You just didn't know how to use it. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you turn on the news, set aside 12 minutes for the magnetic stillness protocol. Just 12 minutes. That's shorter than a coffee break. And as you practice this day after day, pay attention to what shifts around you. Watch how strangers treat you differently. Notice how conversations feel easier. Observe how women move closer, not because you performed some trick, but because you stopped trying and started simply being. Gentlemen, hear me on this. You are not too old. You are not past your prime. You are not invisible. You are exactly one internal shift away from becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. And that version has been waiting for you all along. If this spoke to something inside you, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. In my upcoming videos, I'll be breaking down the exact body language signals, energy shifts, and presence techniques that make people stop and pay attention the second you enter a room. These are the subtle cues that separate ordinary men from unforgettable ones. And before you go, leave me a comment below. Tell me, what's the single biggest obstacle you face when it comes to confidence with women at this point in your life? I personally read every comment, and I regularly build new videos around the questions you ask. Your honesty helps other men too, more than you know. Stay powerful, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.